It all began on March 31st, 1985.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
And it would change our world.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Welcome to the greatest sports entertainment spectacular of all time!
The eyes of the world are on this match tonight.
We have been inspired.
Boyhood dream has come true.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
Some of the greatest moments in entertainment history have happened here.
The Austin era has begun. The immortal Undertaker streak continues. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
And now, ATBWrestling.com presents the After the Bell podcast, WrestleMania 30 preview.
Happy Thursday, everybody. We are just 4 days away from WrestleMania 30, and welcome to the first ever After the Bell WrestleMania Roundtable. For the first part of the show, we will be without my normal co-host, Lee, as she'll be coming later with another one of our guests today. But first, I want to introduce you guys to who I have in the amazing, luxurious, fancy ATB studio with me right now. First, he was the first ever guest on the After the Bell podcast, and he has graciously accepted the invitation to come back for more punishment. I'd like to welcome back Corey Pontes. Corey, welcome back.
Bill, thanks for having me. The sooner you realize I'm just a glory hog and I want people to hear my voice, the better we'll be in this relationship. But hey, thanks for having me again.
No, my pleasure. And alongside Corey is a longtime friend of mine who is the co-founder of the CausewayStreetBlog.com, one of the best and up-and-coming sports blogs in Boston, and a huge WWE fan. Welcome to the After the Bell podcast for the first time, Joel Pavon.
Hey, thanks for having me, Bill. Appreciate it, man. That intro was epic, by the way.
You do what I can, I spent
tight.
4 hours on it one night. I figured I'd try to make it at least a little bit decent.
It's good. It's good, man. It was goosebumps, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I love the ending there where it's welcome, 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 welcome. I love that. Our third guest today, joining us on the line very soon, is a man whose voice can be heard all over Massachusetts sports venues, as well as over the airwaves of sports radio WEEI. I'd like to welcome to the After the Bell podcast our first ever phone guest, Mike Riley. Mike, how's it going today?
Hey, good, Bill. How are you?
Not bad at all. Welcome aboard the After the Bell podcast as our first phone-in guest. How excited are you?
Wow, I am honored. This is a thing that's taking off, and the Twitter world is buzzing about it. The internet world is buzzing about After the Bell. What an honor.
I mean, we've only got 176 followers right now. I wouldn't say Twitter's quite buzzing yet, but I mean, it's making a little hiss.
Well, what do you want? How many more followers on Twitter for WrestleMania? What was the goal?
We're trying to get to 200 by Sunday.
Oh, you will. You will. You help me. You put this out there of mine. I'll retweet you. We'll get it there in no time. Don't you worry about it.
Sounds good, my friend. All right, we're going to jump right in. Oh, by the way, in studio right now I have Joel, Joel, and my friend Corey Pontes as well. They're on the line with you as well.
We said we get Joel and Corey. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what's up, fellas?
How we doing, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
All right. Can you hear them?
A little bit, yeah. But go ahead, fire away.
All right, perfect. All right, we're going to jump right into it here with a brief discussion of the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday. Get a little background music for us here.
The Hall of Fame on Saturday, yeah. Bill, I'm sure this has been brought up before on podcasts, and I think you have some strong feelings about it. But one guy that's not going in this year, and I don't think it's going to happen in the foreseeable future, is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
It's just too bad. It's too bad that he's not going in. I mean, it would obviously have to be a posthumous award now, and that's happened numerous times for these guys. But I know there's some rumors circulating he had either a harassment thing or something with Stephanie McMahon when she was younger, so Vince is definitely holding a grudge. But he's got to get in there at some point. It's just bury the hatchet, make it happen, let the fans be happy about it.
Exactly. This leads us to our weekly ATB poll question of the week. Be sure to tweet us at ATB Wrestling and use the hashtag ATB poll with your answer. That's ATBPOLL. And the question I wanted to ask was, as I'm sure you guys have heard for the first time ever, the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony will be shown live in its entirety on Saturday night on the WWE Network. Whose speech are you most looking forward to, and why?
You asking me that, or you want?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you first.
Sure. All right, I'm going to say Jake the Snake Roberts.
Okay.
This is a guy here that's been through hell and back, I guess you could say. And
right.
He's cleaned up himself, and not only that, but he is in good shape now too. He's actually from a lot better from when we last saw him wrestle.
Right.
Overweight. Yeah, he was just overweight, slobby, really disgusting. Our old friend DDP really helped him out with his yoga system. Yes, exactly. And he's actually in pretty good shape for his age. He got a little bit of ring time earlier this year.
Yep.
I know it sounds like he's off the drugs, and it sounds like he's no longer having an alcohol problem too.
Yep.
But I'm sure you guys saw the documentary, the movie, a few years ago. It came back in the early 2000s. Why is it blank on me right now? Oh, my God.
Beyond the Mat.
Foley. What was it called?
Beyond the Mat.
Beyond the Mat, thank you. Yes, and Jake Roberts was centered around that. And it was just a mess. It was sad.
Yeah, it was. It's not good.
No, but it looks like he's come a long way, and he's earned his spot, and I think Vince McMahon took note of that. He did a 180 on his life, and he said, you know what? He's done that, then he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. So I'm very excited to hear his story and talk about his career as well, because he was one of the. In fact, I'm going to go off on a limb and say this. I think he was maybe the best talent on the microphone ever. It was fantastic.
That's really saying something if you're putting him on the top of that list.
Think about it. I mean, I know you can put The Rock up there, but. I'm trying to think who else would cut a good. I mean, John Cena's not bad as well.
Yeah, Cena's very good.
Triple H.
Yeah, but Roberts was just fantastic on the microphone.
Yeah. All right, Joel, who are you looking forward to the most?
I'm probably gonna say someone that no one's really thinking about, but Razor Ramon. I want to hear
the bad guy.
I want to hear his speech for two reasons. One, because we haven't really seen much of him in WWE for over 10 years now. And two, have you ever seen him in a serious setting?
Aside from that ESPN documentary that came out a couple years ago?
No.
Not really, no.
So I want to see if he's going to, be the Razor Ramon character or the Scott Hall character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to me when it comes to his time to speak, and if he's gonna have something written or come off the cuff, I think that's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be live. It's not gonna be taped.
Right.
So
now here's the one I'm looking forward to the most, and obviously he can't even make the speech because he's being inducted posthumously or whatever that word is after death, and but it has to be Undertaker that gives the speech for Paul Bearer, doesn't it?
Oh yes.
Awesome.
I hope so. I hope it would be the Undertaker.
I think it would be really interesting to see Undertaker in the public eye, kind of breaking character for the first time, ever, aside from his biker gimmick that he had in the early 2000s.
Hated that.
I'm definitely looking forward to that the most. How about you, Corey?
Well, that leaves the Ultimate Warrior. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. There's a guy who's never seen a microphone or a camera he didn't like.
Yeah.
He constantly talks nonsense. He's constantly racist. He's constantly controversial. He's going to take that WWE Hall of Fame speech and put it into a nosedive Hogan. So I'm looking forward to see what that idiot has to say.
Oh, that's great. Well, like I said, folks, use the hashtag ATB poll and tweet your answer at us. Whose Hall of Fame speech are you looking forward to hearing the most? Moving on here, just because we're on a little bit of limited time with Mike today because he's got a gig in a little while. But we're going to move on to
whatever you're going to do, don't worry.
Yeah, we're moving on to the WrestleMania 30 card. We're going to go through it match by match with you here, Mike. On the pre-show. On the pre-show, it was announced that the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships would be featured on the second hour of the pre-show. It's between the champions, the Usos, versus the Real Americans, versus Ryback and Curtis Axel, versus Los Matadors. What do you think happens here?
Well, they're definitely pushing the Usos. Well, the Usos are already at the top. But
right.
They've pushed them. Yeah, they've pushed them because they beat Road Dogg and Billy Gunn there a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I think this Los Matadors team might surprise everybody, and they may take the titles. Because I have a feeling that Cesaro will go independent down the line, and I don't think he'll be with Curtis Axel too much. No, I'm sorry.
Jack Swagger.
Curtis Axel. Jack Swagger, thank you, yeah. Him too much longer. So I don't see them as tag champs. And who's the other team? I'm blanking on them again.
Ryback and Curtis Axel.
Ryback,
yeah. I don't think they'll be in the tag team division for a little bit, but I think they're going to give it a Los Matadors or the Usos again. One of those two will take it because they definitely pushed both of them. And it's pretty good for the heritage factor, too.
Right.
With the Hispanic heritage, and that's great for those fans too.
And with Carlos Colon being also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year as well.
That's right. That's right. So,
I'm kind of disappointed. Not only one that this show is on the pre-show. I mean, this match is on the pre-show, but the way that they went about the match. I felt that Elimination Chamber when New Age Outlaws beat the Usos in their tag match. I thought after that. The New Age Outlaws would carry the titles all the way to WrestleMania, and I thought it would just be a fatal four-way between the Usos, Real Americans, Ryback and Curtis Axel, and the champions, New Age Outlaws. Mm-hmm. I don't like Los Matadors in this match. I thought they should have maybe just been thrown into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal just because they haven't really made a name for themselves yet. I mean, El Torito is more popular than those guys.
Love his little wiggle he does.
But I can't see the Usos, who are clearly the best, legit, should you say, tag team in the business right now.
Yeah,
I mean, they wear the same outfits, they look the same. I can't see them not walking away from the Superdome without the tag titles.
Yeah, and they're trying to push the tag team division a lot too. I don't like what they did on Raw last week with all four of the teams involved. I know they had an 8-man tag. Just put two of them in there. Put the Usos and throw in another tag team that's not involved in the match. Push them a little bit more. That way you can push the whole division there. Right now they're just relying on those four teams, and that's not good. They got to really revamp that tag team division.
Yeah, and I'm kind of disappointed that Cody Rhodes and Goldust aren't in this match either. I mean, they've clearly been one of the top push tag teams in the last 6 months.
Yeah, why not trade out Ryback, put them in the 30-man battle royal, and put the Brotherhood, as I like to refer to them as, in the Fatal 4-Way. And just going on what Bill said, I would have liked to see just New Age Outlaws retain through to Mania, New Age Outlaws versus the Usos.
Because whoever wins that match against the New Age Outlaws at WrestleMania gets a huge rub.
Oh, absolutely.
Because clearly New Age Outlaws are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And if you beat them at WrestleMania for the tag titles, I mean that instantly boosts your career as a tag team.
Well, then maybe that's why the Brotherhood, are not in this match, because they wanted to be part of the actual show and not, the pre-show.
Now they're just stuck in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, but it's still on the show though.
True, which should have been on the pre-show, by the way.
Yeah,
I agree.
So there you go. So
I don't know.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Situation.
Yeah, really.
All right. Well, moving.
I'll say this though: if they're going to put that in the pre-show, that tells you right there this is going to be a damn good WrestleMania with matches that are going to be long and some things unexpected because they know they don't have enough time in that 4-hour window there.
Right.
I hope.
Right. Well, it's a 6-hour window this year, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our next match, which I think is probably going to kick off the show, which would make sense in my opinion, is the match who will determine who will be the third superstar in the triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and it features Daniel Bryan
Yes.
and Triple H.
No.
I made a prediction weeks ago on the After the Bell podcast, and I'm going to stick with that prediction, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
My prediction is, well, it's a little convoluted. Well, maybe it's not that convoluted. My prediction is Triple H wins dirty. Well, going back to Raw, it's always concerning to me when the guy I want to win gets the upper hand on the Monday before the pay-per-view, and, D-Brow is smacking him around with that kendo stick. So I'm hoping Triple H wins somehow dirty, and he's celebrating, he's posing, then you hear, hold on 1 second, brother. That was cheating, or something to that effect, and then we get a fatal four-way for the title. That's what I'd like to see.
Fantastic. I'd either like to see Hogan do that, or even Vince come out and do it.
Oh, that might even be better.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I wholeheartedly agree with Corey. Something along those lines there that Triple H will win the match, and then they make it a fatal four-way. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
How about you, Joel?
I think Daniel Bryan wins it, goes on to the main event, but he doesn't win the title. That's what I think. Somehow it's a sabotage. Triple H is gonna be so pissed off, or somebody who's Triple H gets, or I don't know, something big is gonna happen in that main event that Daniel Bryan will not win that title. So he wins the match against Triple H, but Triple H gets back at him somehow before the night's over.
Okay, so here's a prediction I made a couple weeks ago on the After the Bell podcast. I believe it was episode 4 or 5. But I feel like the Daniel Bryan yes movement is going to go full circle with the way it started at WrestleMania 27 or 28 with Sheamus.
When he lost to Sheamus?
So Sheamus catches Daniel Bryan by surprise after he kissed AJ.
Okay.
Turned around, 18 seconds, give him the boot, done. I feel like the same thing's going to happen, but it's going to be with Triple H and Stephanie.
Oh, boy.
I think.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking here's Triple H coming out. He's all calm, cool, and collected. Daniel Bryan's all jacked up, bouncing in the corner. He's got 75,000 people chanting yes.
Oh, man.
The bell rings. Note that. The bell rings. Triple H turns around, gives Stephanie a kiss. Bryan hits him with a running knee. 1, 2, 3.
So he hits him after the bell?
After the bell. There you go.
I don't know. You think Triple H would
Triple
lay
H
down
would
like
explain
that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I feel that if that
time
does happen, Daniel Bryan still gets the win, but it doesn't make Triple H look weak. It was almost like he was distracted.
I think Triple H would prefer to tap out than something like that. Though he's tapped out a couple times at WrestleMania.
But I feel like they'd have a great match. That'd be a little disappointing to me because I think that's the best match in the card.
Oh, I agree. It's a prediction I made weeks ago.
But
I'm
I like
going to
that.
stick to it.
I like that.
I just thought it fit pretty well.
That's interesting.
That'd be interesting though.
Yeah.
Let's just all pray Batista doesn't win.
Oh Jesus!
Did anybody catch that Georgetown
Yes.
Ewing throwback with the scally cap
Yeah.
or whatever he was wearing? I hate him.
Did you see the press conference yesterday?
No, I missed it.
It was pretty good. He trolled the whole crowd. It was pretty funny. Anyway, moving on to the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I got the list of names here. Let me know if there's any that really jump out at you guys. We got Alberto Del Rio. We got Big E. Big Show. Brad Maddox is in it.
Wow.
Brodus Clay. Christian. Cody Rhodes. Damian Sandow. Darren Young. Dolph Ziggler. Fandango. Drew McIntyre. Goldust. The Great Khali. Heath Slater. Jinder Mahal, Justin Gabriel, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, The Miz, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, R-Truth, Santino, Sin Cara, Titus O'Neil, Zack Ryder, and 3 unannounced participants.
All right, I got something to say here if you don't mind.
What do you got?
This is clearly something. I don't think there is a union for the wrestlers, but I have a feeling that, word got out there to Triple H or whoever's doing the booking, I'm sure him and Stephanie, that when WrestleMania comes around, everybody wants a shot. And these guys, half of those guys you just named there, would not be in a WrestleMania match any other year.
No.
But all right, you know what? We've had enough. We heard enough. We're just going to make a 30-man battle royal, and we're going to name it after one of the greatest superstars of all time, Andre the Giant. So why not do it every year where everyone can say they were on the main stage at WrestleMania? So that's my take on that. And also, excuse me, another thing, why are you putting your Intercontinental Champion in the match here when that title should be on the line? If this is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling and your company, all the titles should be on the line. I'm not calling it Night of Champions here.
No, but it should be, though.
Should be on the line.
Every single title in the company should be on the line at WrestleMania.
Agreed. I don't understand why it's not. I don't understand why Brad Maddox is in this match. He's an entertaining character, but why is he there?
Yeah. And there's no U.S. title match either.
No.
No, there's not. And it's like, it's pointless. It's just the belt has become a prop. That's all it is.
Well, yeah, because it's the 30th year, anniversary of WrestleMania. So it's like got to do something with 30. I think that probably is the main reason for this match. And it's not going to last long. We're not looking at something like,
No, it'll be 5 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be no more than 5-10 minutes. It's not going to be long and drawn out, unless those three, special guests or three mystery guests happen to be somebody, or three people that we haven't seen in a while,
right?
Or some legend, somebody, then we'll see where that takes us. But other than that, this is just something to just throw on there, I guess.
Yeah, it's really just filler.
It's a filler, yeah. Thank you.
I think I'm going to guess at least one of those guest participants or mystery participants is going to be the Belarusian brawler,
Alexander Rusev.
He needs to be in it.
I'll say another one, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh!
That's how good of a plot that is.
You should have seen the audio line on this thing over here when you did that.
I imagine.
The audio wave spiked like crazy when you did that.
Yeah, I could barely hear Mike after that.
It just sucks. It's lazy booking, and it's funny because this battle really used to happen every year, but no one, unless they were at WrestleMania or bought the DVD afterwards, would ever see it.
No.
It was like a pre-show thing to get the fans going. It would always be like somebody like Zack Ryder, who was like a kind of a climbing fan favorite type of thing, who would win it, but it wouldn't mean anything. And as legendary,
I remember WrestleMania 14. Sorry, WrestleMania 14. That was the first match. It was a tag team battle royal.
Oh yes.
The winner of the match would go on to fight the tag champs at Unforgiven, and the mystery team was Legion of Doom.
That's right.
And they came out and they actually won the thing, and it was really exciting to see that. That was in Boston, too.
See, now that's actually worth something.
So something like that. I mean, I know you're getting a trophy of Andre the Giant, which is great, but put another incentive into it, too.
Right. Or make it for the Intercontinental Championship or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe they put it on Christian and then have him be hurt and then vacate it. But that didn't work out.
No, I think this we're going back to what we were talking about about 2 minutes ago, how every title should be on the line at WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
I think with matches, with Taker coming back and Triple H now has to be in a WrestleMania match, it takes away, I think, from the rest of the champions in the company. We got Cena and Wade Bryant. And
Bray Wyatt.
I'm sorry.
Way Bryant.
I say that all the time.
That guy.
Yes.
They had there's no titles on the line for that, and I don't know, it just makes it interesting, I think.
I feel like
titles.
There's also so many guys in this match that are over that they're like, well, we don't have any idea what to do with you. Like Cesaro, Ziggler's always getting a huge pop.
Oh God, I'm so tired of what they're doing with him.
Oh, it's sickening almost. I mean, he's so over. He's such a company man. He'll do anything. He's the best seller in the WWE, in my opinion, and he can't get any burn.
No, you mentioned something earlier before we started the show. Maybe Rob Van Dam was one of the mystery guys.
I think he's going to be one of the other two, and then I feel like somebody from NXT might be the third. Maybe
Bo Dallas,
maybe Sami Zayn.
Even someone like a Booker T. He may.
Oh God,
I'd be down for Spinaroonie.
Always down for Spinaroonie.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, you were there, and Mike was there with us at Royal Rumble 2011, and when Booker came out, he saw how much I freaked out when Booker came out. But it's not really the time and place for Booker to make an appearance.
I'd assume that's too small of a spot for CM Punk to make a return, right? I mean, that would be meaningless if he
that'd
won
be
that.
so awesome.
I mean, I would love it. Don't get me wrong, but
I came up with another theory about CM Punk too. If Brian wins the title at the end of the show, and 75,000 people are chanting yes, 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 all of a sudden Punk's music hits, comes down to the ring, and they have a Benoit Guerrero from WrestleMania 20 moment where they hug it out like longtime buddies, whatever. Close the show with Punk's raising Daniel Bryan's hand.
Oh, okay.
We come back.
Oh, wow, okay.
We come back on
So
Raw
Raw
tomorrow night.
challenges
They do
for the
the
title?
same thing to kick off the show,
But he like kicks
but
him
he
or something?
turns on him.
Yeah.
Instantly, the top heel in the company.
Yeah.
and he doesn't go on to kill his family, right? In that same scenario.
That's a touchy subject.
Yeah, I
I don't think he's got any kids. No.
Oh man,
I'm with you there. I got Punk coming back the night after, though.
yeah. Oh man, I hope so.
It's that hangover. The hangover after WrestleMania, you know, everyone's like, all right, big letdown now, and that would be huge.
Yeah, somebody always seems to come back. I mean,
If
Lesnar came back.
If Punk comes back, it'd be that Raw. So like you said,
Yeah,
I think he congratulates.
Brock Lesnar the night after.
Yeah, he would congratulate Brian. I think if Brian were to win and just turn on him, and it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. All right, let's see here. Moving on down the card, we have the Excuse Me, Vicky Guerrero.
We really have to talk about that.
Very briefly, don't worry. The Vicky Guerrero
Not
Divas
the
Championship
I'm sorry.
Invitational. We got AJ, Natalia, Nikki Bella, blah, 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 blah. Any idea who wins this match? Does AJ retain?
I think Trinity has to win this match. She's been kind of getting a push. She got injured there for a couple weeks.
What's her WWE name?
Naomi. Sorry,
Naomi.
I'm such a huge Total Divas fan. I just refer to them by their real names.
You confused her. You confused her what her identity was. That's funny.
That's awesome. Mike, how are we doing on time?
I've got about 5 minutes for you.
Okay, let me skip ahead here.
Use them wisely, Bill.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, man. In fact, I had no comment with the Divas. So enjoy.
6-man tag match, Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws. Does anybody disagree that the Shield's going to win this match?
No, they have to win.
Yeah, they got this. Yeah. No
Yeah,
doubt.
they got the crowd behind them.
Yeah,
Big time.
absolutely.
Especially after the Boston
I would have liked
SmackDown,
to
it was
see them
awesome.
fight the Wyatts, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So next we got the Beast versus the Streak. The Undertaker versus
here we go.
Brock Lesnar.
Hey, there's only three guarantees in life.
Is there?
Life, death, and the streak. You heard it.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, I can't see a storyline where Undertaker loses at WrestleMania. He may lose his last match someday,
Yeah.
but not at WrestleMania.
Not when you're in the deep water, and then everybody looked to the shore and tried to swim, but they couldn't swim, then they drowned. He's terrible. Terrible promos. I'm sorry.
It's awful. Oh, man.
No, it's really no surprise that Undertaker's going to win this. I think it's going to be a good match. This is actually a match I wanted to see when Brock came back originally a few years back. I was dying to see a Brock Undertaker match then. Now, I mean, I think it's still going to be a good match. I mean, these two in the past obviously had their beefs in and outside the ring. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be good. I think it might even be better than the second Triple H.
Really?
Match.
I thought that was an amazing match. Wait, the second...
The second one, not last year was CM Punk.
Hell in a Cell?
There's a back-to-back.
Oh, the one in Miami.
Then there's the one they had at like WrestleMania 17. Are we talking the one?
No, because that was back-to-back.
Okay.
So you're right. I meant to say the second of the back-to-back.
The Hell in a Cell?
Of the Hell
Okay.
in a Cell.
I love that match.
That was great.
That was a good. That was a crazy match. But it might be up those lines of how good that is. How this match is going to be, I think.
I mean, Taker looks like he's in shape. I'll say that about him.
Hell yeah.
Sure does. All right. So we're
I
all
just hope it is, because the Undertaker he's up there in age, and from what we've seen the last few weeks on Raw, he can't move that much. He's not doing that much that he used to do. I would like to see him walk the top rope again, though. I would like to say it one more time.
a little old school for you.
That's right.
All right, moving on real quick because we're a little bit of a time restraint with Mike here. But singles match, we got John Cena and Bray Wyatt. What's going to happen there?
I'm excited for that personally.
Me too.
In the rival that's gone down here, I know they have Bray Wyatt playing with Cena's mind and scaring him the whole 9 yards.
How phenomenal was Cena popping out of the dark on Raw? That was awesome.
That was
that
excellent.
Fantastic with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Cena winning this. I just don't see how he doesn't. And he's a company guy, be a good pop for everybody. Although the Wyatts have been very exciting and actually, as creepy as they are very intriguing to watch on the microphone and in the ring for that matter.
Yeah.
But John Cena's going to take this.
Okay. I'm gonna go into my prediction a little bit later when we have our other guests on, but I'm taking Bray Wyatt in this match. I don't see how he doesn't go over.
Wow.
I don't think this rivalry ends at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be a nice build, right? Maybe even up to SummerSlam.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I think more of a reason why Cena wins this one, so it continues, because.
But if Cena
the last time
loses,
Cena's won back to back at WrestleMania?
oh yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
But Cena can use his whole never give up and embrace the hate and all that to go on to the next couple pay-per-views and with matches with Bray Wyatt, or if he teams up with anybody to take on the Wyatt family or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I feel like Cena's going to go down in this one.
Yeah, for as many faults as Cena, supposedly has with his character, the real life John Cena is always willing to do the job for up and coming guys. So
Exactly.
I'm going to agree with Bill here. I think Bray is going to win. Again, if you listen to my last podcast, all my predictions are always wrong. So who knows what's going to happen? But I'm looking for Bray to win this one.
Oh, wow.
All
So
right.
we got 2-2 here, huh?
2-2.
All right, yeah, I still think Cena wins. It's gonna be a good match, a close match, but I still think Cena pulls it out.
Okay. And last but not least, before we let Mike go here, we get the triple threat for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, one of us said that Triple H was going to win the first match, correct?
No.
With Daniel Bryan?
No, I said Daniel Bryan.
Did
would
you
win.
say that,
What
Mike?
said?
I said
Triple H was going to beat Daniel Bryan.
Correct.
Same thing as Corey. That
Yeah.
it'll be a fatal four-way match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
So I think Hogan will come down or something, and they're going to make that a fatal four-way. So I think he's dead on there. I agree.
are we all in agreement that Daniel Bryan walks out of WrestleMania 30 with the title?
He has to, doesn't he?
I don't know. I don't
right
think
hand
it
up on
does.
that one. I agree.
I don't know. I'm still having a hard time. I mean, as much as I want to, obviously, but I don't think he walks out of there. Something's gonna happen. This has to continue. This keeping him down has to continue.
It's been going on for so long. It's SummerSlam. I can't
Exactly.
take it anymore.
I don't know.
I mean,
Triple H is-
honestly, what would be better than 75,000 people going, yeah, like this?
Yeah, no. You could get that for the first match.
Exactly.
You'll get that when he beats Triple H. At the end, though, I don't know. Or if he does win it, they're gonna somehow strip him of it. It's like he won it illegally. Who knows? Something crazy is gonna happen at the end there.
Yeah.
Triple H has been burying him on promos for too long, I think, to lose. I just can't. I don't know. I'd be very upset as a 26-year-old man if Daniel Bryan did not win.
You and me both. But Mike, thanks for taking the time to come on and being our first ever phone-in guest.
What an honor.
Where can where can we hear the golden pipes of Mike Riley these days?
Let's see. I'll
Where
be
can't you not
doing
hear?
the PA for BC this spring. We get some lacrosse, baseball, and softball.
There you go.
Am I allowed to promote other radio stations too?
I don't care.
You okay with that? All right. Well, in fact, I can't say too much now. You'll find out something in the next few weeks.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's a little teaser for you.
nice.
Cliffhanger.
Then we get the Lowell Spinners coming up pretty soon, doing the PA for them. So
There you go.
That's, yeah, the Red Sox Single A Farm Team. We're looking forward to that.
Good stuff. And where can we find you on Twitter, Mike?
All right, it's Mike Riley, and it's spelled RILEY 54. Mike Riley 54. That's the Twitter handle, and you tweet me, Billy, and I will make sure ATB Wrestling gets you those over 200 followers by Sunday.
You got it, bud. Thanks for joining us, Mike. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, and Joel reeks of machismo.
Take care,
All right,
Mike.
guys,
Have a good one.
enjoy, and we'll see you at WrestleMania.
All right, buddy.
All right, thank
See you later. That was Mike Riley, a good friend of mine from WEEI. And now that I have Joel and Corey in studio here, which match on the card are you guys most looking forward to after we've discussed all of them?
I'm going to have to say that I'm looking forward to the title match. I guess that's also contingent on Daniel Bryan being in the title match.
Right. I mean, the way they built it, I mean, you almost have to assume that he's going to be in it somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it be him beating Triple H or your scenario, I forget who said it, but with it being a fatal four-way.
Yeah, and the fact that Triple H is like pretty much like Skynet and Terminator, he's self-aware now, and he's like acknowledging that he buries people and he's the boss's daughter's husband.
Right.
I just think Daniel Bryan has to go over.
It's the ultimate underdog story.
Yeah.
And especially with that video where he put down Goldberg and Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle that showed on Raw. I feel like it's just such a huge underdog story if Daniel Bryan actually does pull this off in New Orleans.
I'm gonna have to go with Taker and Lesnar. I've been sort of obsessed with Taker since he went up against Shawn Michaels with those two. So I've been excited for every year since. What was that like?
The first one was WrestleMania 24, I believe.
Okay, so since WrestleMania 24, the last 6 years, I've been excited about who Taker faces and how those matches go. Those have been pretty great matches.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
The second HBK Taker was amazing.
Yeah.
It's widely regarded as quite possibly the best WrestleMania match of all time. Yeah. I'm a huge Taker mark. You know that.
No,
you,
I know
you
that.
saw my reaction when that video at SmackDown popped up. I was like a little 12-year-old girl at a Bieber concert. But Taker didn't end up showing up and really disappointed me.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Besides us going to WrestleMania last year, I've only seen Taker twice in person, live. And like his whole ambiance and his presence is amazing live.
It's just so badass.
It really is. Like, it really you just have to just sit there and stand really and just admire the goosebumps running up and down your body. And it's just his whole character and his persona. Like, it just works.
Right, and there's no better entrance in the company today, and I don't think there ever will be.
No
way.
A better entrance than the Undertaker. Yeah. Although, the second best entrance in the company right now is hands down the Wyatt family.
Oh, we're here.
It's not even close.
Love it.
I mean,
Boston. We're here.
I still don't understand though with the whole blowing the light out, but then it still lights up, and then like the little.
Yeah, he blows it out, but then it's like he
still
flicks it on.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I was like, why did he need to light it if it still is going to come on? But it's cool though. I like it. Yeah. The song and everything, their whole what they're going for, it works. With the Hawaiian shirts and the long beard,
the fedoras, and the sheep mask,
and the sheep. As creepy as they are, it works. That whole
right.
The backbone of both Undertaker and the Wyatt family's entrance is me and Billy's boy, Jim Johnston, laying it down.
Yep. I heard a rumor. I'm not sure how much truth there is to it, but I heard that the band that sings the Wyatt family song is going to perform at WrestleMania 4.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, really?
That's kind of cool.
It's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're a live band type of group.
No.
I don't know.
It'd be kind of cool, though, I guess.
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Normally we have a musical performance. Last year we had Living Color, and the most random musical performance of all time with Diddy.
Oh, yeah, will you pay us to play? Please, please. When's the last time they've done anything? Like 93? Great song, though.
It is a great song. And it was terrible live, though.
Oh, it was awful.
It really was.
Man,
That's not something you want to hear live.
Is it bad that I never knew the singer was black?
I didn't know either. I was shocked.
I was shocked.
I think we both looked at each other and we were like, wait,
really?
Wait, what? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I just always assumed he was just a white guy. I don't know.
Me too.
There's a lot of black guys in that band, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of racism going on in the After the Bell podcast.
Well, it's not too many all-black rock bands.
It's true.
After white people stole rock music from black people.
I gotta agree with that. I gotta agree with that one. But I think going back to Undertaker real quick, do we miss the long hair or do we?
Yes.
I miss the long
Me
hair,
too.
but I like what he has going for him right now. Like the whole, he doesn't wear the big hat anymore. And I like the hood.
See, I dug the long hat.
No, I like that, but I still like the way they've, I don't know,
Conformed?
not conformed, but like made Undertaker like 2014.
Yeah, he like evolved.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. He's evolved.
I do like how they brought back the old Attitude Era beard, though.
Yeah.
It's not just like the little facial hair. It's got the whole,
it's got the whole,
ministry Undertaker
Yes.
beard going on.
Yeah, I do miss the long hair, but him being somewhat bald, I like the
With a
evolution,
mohawk.
the evolution,
Yeah.
if you will, of the Undertaker. still being relevant in 2014.
For me, Undertaker will always have long hair. The first time he shaved it, you obviously expressed your disgust for it earlier, but was the rock and roll gimmick, and I hated that.
Oh, that was such a bad gimmick.
So it kind of reminded me of that when he came back with his haircut.
But he had like a little high top.
Yeah,
like a high top fade.
He had a high top fade with the bandana.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think as long as he's not wearing a bandana and riding a motorcycle, I think he's good.
Plus, I think it makes him look a lot older with no hair.
Yeah,
if he had long black hair, he'd look a lot younger.
But he's still Undertaker.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's still dangerous.
You see him pop up in an arena or coming out of an empty casket or like he did. That blew my mind for like 10 minutes. I'm like, how the hell did he do that?
Magic.
Then I noticed there was a curtain underneath the
I didn't see that.
the casket.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Although I will say, I don't know about his new jacket with the spikes on it. It seems like
weird.
it's a little.
It looks like Shredder from from Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Kevin Nash might have something to say about that.
You know what was my favorite part of WrestleMania last year was we couldn't really see it from where we were sitting because we were pretty much on top of the Empire State Building up where we were. But
still loved it though.
It was still awesome.
It was still great.
Cold, but still loved it.
But seeing video footage of it afterwards, like the camera angles that WWE wanted you to see, when you see
still yet to
the hands coming out of the stage, like almost like they're trying to pull him back to hell.
Oh yeah. That
No,
was cool.
we saw.
It was unbelievable.
Well, at least when I noticed after he was walking down, was they were putting like the towels back together on like the stage.
Oh yeah. When Living Color was playing, they were taking towels off.
Exactly. So it was like a big stairwell leading up to where he's coming out.
Right.
And then you see the smoke, and then like the people who are like in like full body mask, body armor, were like trying to pull him back. Yeah, that was awesome.
It was awesome. This is the first time I'm really not looking forward to the Taker match. I feel it's way too predictable. I don't believe for a second that Brock Lesnar can beat him. Paul Heyman, throughout the entire WrestleMania or road to WrestleMania, has just been building Undertaker up. Yeah. And not building up Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to have seen this like 2 years ago before CM Punk. Maybe not. We didn't have to see a second Triple H match against him. But if he had challenged Taker at any point when Brock came back originally, that would have been awesome.
There's just no way he's going to lose, And if he does lose, he'd be like, okay, why is Brock Lesnar beating him? He's around like what, two times a month,
and it really grinds my gears that they're trying to make it believable that a part-time guy who shows up for like 7 Raws a year is going to beat Undertaker. I mean, if Undertaker's going to lose, it's going to be to a guy who's a full-timer.
Yeah, a younger guy who needs to come,
who needs the rub.
And I was actually talking to my roommate about Lesnar. You think he just changes in the parking lot, walks in, does his thing, and leaves?
Probably.
Like, honestly, I really think he does do that.
I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar personally. It was cool to see him come back in F5 Cena when he came back, or whatever. Cool. But other than that, I haven't been excited for him at all.
Yeah,
I was excited. When he came back because I was seeing all the possibilities. Him going up against The Rock, maybe, or like I said, Undertaker.
But how old is Brock Lesnar?
He's only like 34, 35, I think.
I mean, he's still capable of pulling off a full-time WWE schedule.
He just thinks he's too big.
So
for
rich,
WWE,
he doesn't care.
So
much money.
Absolutely. But I mean, to put him in this spot with Taker and have his manager build up Taker the whole time as if he's godly, which he is.
Well, who else would you have Brock face at WrestleMania if it wasn't Taker? Maybe Punk.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Like,
who else was he going to go against?
Who else was he going to go up against?
I mean, I guess he'd have to have a full-time schedule to be in the title picture, but I think they came out one time and Heyman's like, yeah, Brock's the number 1 contender. He kills everybody. He's huge. And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right about that. So I thought he'd get into that somehow.
And that's when the gong went off, and that's when the whole...
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's when Taker was
I think this is
brought into the picture.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while where Taker kind of chose... in terms of the storyline, he chose who he wanted to fight. Usually it's the other way around. Someone that says, no, I want to fight Taker.
Yeah.
I want to know. CM Punk did it.
Tournament or something for
Shawn Michaels did it, back-to-back years. Even Triple H to some extent, but...
Well, Triple H didn't say it. He just came out and went, looked at the sign. And that was enough.
That's true. The
nose got super red.
They both just, they both went nose to nose and just pointed at the sign. That's true. That's very true.
Guess that counts as a call.
It's very. I mean,
those two are built up to a point where neither one of them had to say anything to
really
build to
didn't.
that match.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But
No, that first match they had, I thought was awful. That's crappy spot fest where they'd go through tables and lay down for 10 minutes. Then.
yeah,
But the second one was great. I will say that.
Yeah.
the second one was awesome.
I think that's why they did the second one. I think
Yeah.
they owed it to the fans. Like, yeah, we need to do the second one.
I just feel like this match is going to be a huge letdown as far as Taker Lesnar goes.
They're not. They both need another guy in there that can help them guide them through, like a Punk or a Bryan or something
Right.
like that. But they're both just too big. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm
Dude.
sure Taker will put in a good match, but I don't have very high hopes for this
You guys think it'll be the same, better, or worse than Triple H and Brock Lesnar last year?
Triple H Brock Lesnar last year, I liked it.
That's one of my favorite matches from WrestleMania. But those Michaels matches were great too. I don't know. I don't think it'll be that good, but who knows? It could be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be that good.
I hope so. But we're going to take a short break. We're gonna play you some audio from a WWE video that tells all of you guys what you can find in the WWE Network during WrestleMania week. But first, we're going to have to say a sorry, sad goodbye to our friend Joel. Thanks for coming on today, my man. You're welcome back anytime.
No, I appreciate it, man. This was fun. I got to do this. We got to do this more often.
And it's not wrestling related, but I'm sure some of our fans are NBA fans as well. Where can we find your blog, Causeway Street, on the interwebs?
Oh, well, if you're a big Celtics fan or you just want to, read up on Celtics news, rumors, and opinions, you can go to CausewayStreetBlog.com. We also have a Twitter, which is at Causeway Street. We have an Instagram account as well, same thing, at Causeway Street. And on Facebook, that's where we post all our pictures and videos and articles at Facebook.com// Causeway Street blog.
All right. Well,
Appreciate it, Mike.
Absolutely. Like I said, we're going to take a short break, folks. The After the Bell podcast, WrestleMania Roundtable with Corey, my weekly co-host Lee, and a new guest in just a few moments after this short message, like I said, from our friends at WWE regarding WrestleMania week on the WWE Network.
WrestleMania, brother! There's no greater event on the planet!
Don't miss a minute of the action and excitement of WrestleMania week as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the biggest event in sports entertainment.
Are you ready?
Starting with WrestleMania Today, live from New Orleans on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, covering all the happenings and bringing you exclusive interviews with WWE superstars and legends. And for the first time ever, witness the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony live in its entirety as Lita, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Ultimate Warrior receive WWE's Ultimate Honor. And finally, get the party started with a bang on the 2-hour live WrestleMania pre-show featuring the night's opening match.
WrestleMania is going to be totally off the chain.
It all culminates with a spectacle 30 years in the making. WrestleMania, live from New Orleans on Sunday, April 6th.
WrestleMania, right here on WWE Network.
Don't miss a moment of WrestleMania week action. Check the WWE Network schedule for dates and times and catch all of the exclusive live content you won't see anywhere else.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the first ever After the Bell WrestleMania Roundtable. We're just 4 days away from WrestleMania, and as you heard in that video clip, or audio clip, shall I say, because there's no video in a podcast, that WWE Network is going to be pulling like an NFL network, just all sorts of fun programming leading up to WrestleMania, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I cannot wait to watch the WrestleMania live in the Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday night. But first and foremost, I'd like to thank Mike and Joelle for coming on earlier, and I hope to have you guys back sometime. But now I'd like to welcome in my weekly co-host, Lee. Welcome back.
Hi, how you doing?
Welcome today, shall I say. And also, I'd like to welcome into the podcast for the first time, Mr. Joe Guaragna.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Joe, welcome aboard. We're going to jump right in, without further ado, into our discussion of the Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday night. Now let me set a little ambiance here with the background music.
That sounds great.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So as you guys, I'm sure, have heard, the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony will be shown live in its entirety on Saturday night on the WWE Network. And that brings us to our ATB poll question of the week, which was, which WWE Hall of Fame speech are you most looking forward to and why? And we got a couple of retweets from Lee and Mike Riley, who was our guest earlier, and we got a ton of responses here. I'm looking through my Twitter over here on the iPad, and we got a few responses, mostly Scott Hall, but we got some Jake Roberts, we got some Lita, and I'm sure you guys, if you guys are still listening, you have obviously heard earlier that I am most looking forward to. It won't be him giving the speech because, unfortunately, he passed away. But I'm most looking forward to the Paul Bearer speech because who else is going to deliver it but The Undertaker? Mm-hmm. Hopefully. Yeah, it hasn't been announced yet. I'm hoping there's a reason why it hasn't been announced yet. It's because Undertaker's going to break character for the first time in a long time, ever since he was the rock and roll Undertaker and whatnot. But I'm really hoping that it's Taker because he's the only one that could really be fitting for that speech. What are you guys thinking?
I'm going out there and saying the Warrior.
Okay.
I want them to bring like little ropes out just so we can go up and down on them.
Yeah, he has to sprint on stage.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hopefully he's not gassed by the time he gets up there. What are you thinking, Joe?
Scott Hall.
Scott Hall.
When I was a kid, Razor Ramon was the man.
There we go.
And he was part of the NWO. That was like the biggest thing in the 90s.
Oh, wrestling. Absolutely. 100%.
Hogan gets most of the credit, but Hall was there too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The bad guy. I do like how they're inducting Razor Ramon and not Scott Hall. It obviously leaves the door open for the NWO to be inducted as a whole, kind of like the Four Horsemen were inducted a couple years ago. But it should be good. I'm looking forward to the ceremony. Most of the time, you can't watch it in its entirety unless you get the WrestleMania DVD. It was always a condensed hour version with the two top guys or whatever in the class that was on USA the night before WrestleMania or the night after WrestleMania, whenever it was on. I forget. Leading up to Raw, I think it was. But I'm definitely looking forward to watching this year's class. I mean, we're getting old. I mean, you got people like Lita going in, and you in past couple of years, you've seen Edge go in, you've seen Stone Cold go in, and the people you used to watch from the Attitude Era back in the day are now Hall of Famers, and it's mind blowing. Trish Stratus last year, and it's cool. But I'm definitely looking forward to Paul Bearer's speech. Hopefully, Undertaker delivers it, and like you guys said, Scott Hall, Warrior. Thank you, and Corey earlier you said.
When the spirit of the warriors all come down from the heavens and the lightning bolts, we will never die.
Can I stab a voodoo doll and make you puke on demand?
Absolutely. Puke all over some doctors.
Oh, no.
That was on one of the best things WWE Network has to offer right now is the WWE Countdown Show. And that
awesome.
was on the Biggest Blunder show, and it was fantastic.
No. It was gross.
Not only that, but just the whole show in general was amazing. From the Cave of Doom or whatever it was at the beginning.
Oh my God! And Hogan's like, "Where am I? I've never been in this place before." That was amazing. I Snapchatted that to a bunch of my buddies. That was incredible.
It's so good. Oh man. So I'm just going to give a couple of shout-outs here to people who are kind enough to tweet us here. We have Shannon Scott, who says, a tie between Hall and Roberts. What comeback stories they both have. Going to get choked up for sure. We have Joe Bob Stone. Wonder where Joe Bob is from. I'm curious. He says Scott Hall, because what could beat him taking and the tiniest chance of hearing a relapse? That's terrible, man. Come on.
Come on, Joe Bob.
I didn't read these tweets before I started reading them here, so.
Joe Bob, come on.
You better edit that out.
Go join the Waltons there, Joe Bob.
Sure you're better than that.
We got Matt Mongillo says Lita for sure. Rory Robinson says, I'll go with Jake Roberts since reports say nothing will be written, just shooting the shit. So that'd be good. If he just comes out and just speaks his mind. Pro Wrestling Moments says Scott Hall. Hopefully he does one of his classic bad guy speeches. That would be nice. And that's about it for now. If if you guys are listening to the podcast and you'd like to participate in our poll, you just tweet at ATBWrestling and use the hashtag ATBpoll in your answer. All right, let's move on to the WrestleMania card and discuss each match in all its glory, shall I say. I'm sorry, I thought the podcast stopped recording for a second, but it didn't.
Thank God.
Thank God we didn't have another blunder.
Oh, no.
I was telling Corey about that earlier in the show, that we had to kind of re-record our show a couple of weeks ago.
It's like 15 minutes worth of talking.
Yeah,
and it was just gone.
That was a blunder.
15 minutes of gold gone forever, huh?
Exactly. Just gone into the abyss somewhere. All right. So let's jump right into the WrestleMania 30 card. It was announced that the WrestleMania 30 pre-show will feature the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships, and it features the champions, the Usos, versus the Real Americans, versus Ryback and Curtis Axel, versus Los Matadores.
Ole.
Ole. Exactly. Ole. Lee, who's going to win this match?
I have either the Usos winning or the Real Americans.
You got to pick one, for God's
I
sakes.
can't pick. I love Cesaro.
You're going to pick.
All right,
You're
all
gonna
right.
like
The Usos.
Okay.
I have the Usos.
And why?
Because they're fabulous right now.
They are fabulous. They're literally the only real, true... I mean, Los Matadores, definitely. But they're not as established as the Usos. Although they were once Primo and Epico.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, so much for that, huh?
And they had Rosa Mendez with them. Why'd they take that away?
Right? Now they got a little miniature
her new hair going on.
But I do agree with you that the Usos will retain the tag team championships. How about you, Joe? What are you thinking?
It's their first reign. They got to give the Usos a little more time with the belts.
Agreed. As I was saying earlier, I don't like how this match was booked. Number one, for the reason it was on the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. Number two, I don't think it was booked correctly with the New Age Outlaws. I think because the New Age Outlaws won at Elimination Chamber, they should have retained all the way to WrestleMania instead of losing on the next night on Raw. And that way you give the Usos the rub of going to WrestleMania and beating one of the greatest tag teams of all time and propelling them to the top of the tag team division.
That's how I would have booked it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And even if you want to do a Fatal 4-Way, just take Los Matadores out and put New Age Outlaws in.
I said that to Lee last night.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I had no idea why the Matadores are in this match. They were thrown in because they moved the Outlaws to the Shield storyline.
Which I hate too.
Matador, they haven't even been on TV for like months until last Monday. They were
Right.
randomly on, and whoever, what are the names? Diego and Sanchez or something? And they won with a roll up.
I know Diego is definitely one of them, but I'm not sure about the other
Diego
one.
Sanchez is a UFC fighter, so that's not
Okay.
true. But yeah, they suck.
Yeah, and for the most of the TV time they're getting is on Main Event or SmackDown.
Yeah.
They're never getting Raw matches.
And aren't they they're dumping the people on those shows too? They're not winning.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
doing
it's-
comedy sketches with them.
I don't know.
The bull chasing Summer
And how
Rae.
can you have a tag team when you have a third guy, essentially, or
Yeah.
or
Half-
2.5 men,
half
shall
a
you say?
man. 2.5 men.
What happens if they win? Does El Torito get anything? Does he get like a mini belt or something? Does he get one of those?
Okay,
Yeah, he gets
now
one of
we're
those.
talking. I might actually be down for one if he has a little mini belt that he wears around.
The Los Matadores get the $350 versions, and then
He gets the Toys R Us version.
he gets the one that's sitting right next to Joe over
Come
here.
on,
Yeah.
that's pretty
the
good.
Kmart $20 special WWE Championship. So I think we're all pretty much in agreement that the Usos are going to retain. Up next, which I think is probably going to open the show, that's the reason why I have it in this order, is the match to determine who will be the third superstar in the triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And it features Daniel Bryan versus the Game Triple H. What happens here?
I have Daniel Bryan winning.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's going to be a very long match. Thank you. And it's
I told you I'm going to play yes, yes, yes whenever I agree with you.
yes. Or I know Stephanie's going to be a part of it somehow. Even if she's doing like the kiss of death thing, but
Yes.
she's definitely not going to do the kiss of death.
I'll repeat that a little bit later on after
Later
we get
on.
Joe's prediction.
Okay.
But so you think Daniel Bryan's
Daniel
going
Bryan
to
will
win?
win.
Okay, Joe, how about you?
Okay, you have to stay with me on this because it gets better later.
Okay.
I got this going to a draw,
Okay.
and it end up being a fatal 4-way at the end of the night.
That's what Corey was
that's
saying
a version
earlier.
of my take. I think Triple H is going to screw Bryan, win, I don't know if I want to do the impressions again, but Hogan comes out, oh, 1 second, brother. Right now it's a fatal 4-way. And that's how he gets in
But
the
how
match.
does Triple H win? Because it has to be dirty.
He could
If
sledgehammer
Hogan's
him
going to
or
come out.
something.
That too, yeah.
Low blow from Stephanie.
Yeah, low blow from SMH. Remember that shirt she used to have said SMH?
Yes. when she was all big and bulky and gross.
Yeah.
God, I hope Triple H doesn't win this match straight up and go to the World Championship match. I mean, who honestly wants to see minus Flair Evolution battle it out for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
Is this 2004?
It's 2014.
Okay, so
It's a 10-year anniversary.
10 years too late for an Evolution triple threat match at WrestleMania.
I couldn't agree with you more. Here's my scenario, and for those of you who are still listening, I appreciate it. But my scenario that I mentioned earlier on the podcast, when we had Joel and Corey on with Mike, I said that the Yes movement is going to kind of come full circle. It started at WrestleMania 28 when Sheamus gave him the boot after the kiss of death from AJ in 18 seconds. And I feel like, and I said this weeks ago, and I'm sticking to it, it may not happen, who knows, but that's what the fun in predictions is. But I feel that the bell's going to ring, and note that, the bell's going to ring, and Triple H is going to turn around, give Stephanie a kiss, going to turn back around, running knee right to the face. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't make Triple H look weak, just he loses because of a distraction, and puts Daniel Bryan over into the triple threat.
I like it.
You never know.
Yeah.
He hates
but
losing,
I do like
though. Triple H hates losing.
Yeah, but he knows what's best for business, though.
Does he? You want to put a B-plus player over like that?
That video on Raw was epic.
That video was, I mean, again, we talk about it. The WWE production team is amazing.
Yeah.
Those guys are some of the best in the business.
And Triple H is burying every great talent ever, pretty much, in that video.
I did like Batista's like, hey, you never beat me. And Triple H's
He always
response
says
was, that's all you say?
Yep.
Well, what else does he need to say?
Triple H just trolled for half an hour straight, and it was awesome.
You see the press conference yesterday?
Yes. Batista trolled the crowd. That was funny.
Yeah. That was amazing.
I only caught the end of it, but the bits that I caught some in the middle too. But the bits I did catch of it, it didn't seem like it was anything. It seemed like they didn't even have to do it, except for the Batista part.
I mean, all it is just to invite guys like from PWI and those other wrestling publications just to kind of go down there, take pictures, and half of it was photo opportunities. While you were watching the stream,
All
did you
4
notice?
men at the end taking a photo together.
That was so awkward.
Mhm.
Batista was just standing there, just like,
Yeah, and then
"We
Triple H
done?"
looks back at him, and then Batista just laughs.
Well, you
It's
got Daniel
so
Bryan,
awkward.
2 people away from Triple H. It's like last week you were handcuffed and getting beaten your head in with a
Exactly.
chair. How does this even make sense?
Exactly.
Water under the bridge.
And last night you were beating the shit out of Triple H with
Yeah.
a kendo stick.
Yeah.
I hate those press conferences. Just, I mean, send Vince out, send Stephanie out, and send Cena out.
Yeah, they're
That's
so forced.
Mhm.
That's it.
Cena's suits are way too big for him, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Parachute pants.
Only a girl would notice that.
Yep.
It's hammer time.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. All right, so we're all in agreement that Daniel Bryan will somehow be in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the Fatal 4-Way idea, though. I do love that a lot because it unlike my scenario where it doesn't give any time for Triple H, Daniel Bryan, I do like the thought of maybe having a 15-20 minute match between the two with it ending dirty somehow and those two getting the face time that they so well deserve.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think they'll have the best match of the night if they're allowed to do anything besides Bill's doomsday scenario in my eyes. That's what that would be.
Well, we'll see.
But who knows?
It does deserve at least 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, they've been building this since SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's true. Yeah. But
Change your damn mind right now, Bill.
No chance in hell.
Gotta like a man who sticks to his guns, though.
Exactly. You know, I don't flip flop. You know, make a prediction, you stick to it.
Hey, something to be said for that.
Exactly. Moving on. Let's go to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I read out all the names the first time around, so I'm not going to do that again because it's a royal pain in the ass. But there's a couple of names that kind of jump out at you, like Alberto Del Rio, because of the big win he had over Big E on Raw. Obviously, Big E, Big Show, Sheamus. Other than that, there's really not anybody that's been announced in the Battle Royal that I would see winning it. It says there's 3 unannounced participants. Any idea or any guesses on who they might be?
I'm hoping the first one's RVD.
I was thinking
He's
that.
going to make a
the same
comeback
thing.
somehow. Second, Alex Rusev.
Alexander Rusev.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the third, I have no idea.
How about you, Joe?
It's up in the air.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, they should put Cesaro in there because you got to see him swing a couple people.
I want to see, if anything, to make that tag match worth it, I want to see 100 swings on El Torito. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just, he's the only one that he could do it to, realistically, and just keep going and going and going and going.
Can he swing 2 people at one time, you think? Because I'd like to see that, too.
Just have, like, Hornswoggle and El Torito, like, hold hands and swing the chain.
I would like that.
That'd be horrible. Any guesses on who the 3 unannounced participants might be, Joe?
Well, RVD's a good guess.
Mm-hmm.
You never rule out a legend just because it's an Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Corey, who did you say before?
I think Mike might have said Jim Duggan.
Oh, that was Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hacksaw's
I thought it was you, but I heard somebody. You went.
No,
you
I
made
went
that.
ho, but I didn't make the prediction.
But I do like the thought that it might be a legend. I'm along the lines with you two, definitely with RVD and Rusev, but I was thinking possibly somebody from NXT. Might be dream booking, but I'd love to see Sami Zayn in that spot. And the match he had at NXT Arrival with Cesaro,
I've watched it 15 times.
Was one of the best matches I've ever
that was
seen.
An awesome match.
Back and forth, kickouts, and incredible counters, and it was amazing to watch. And I really hope, whether it be at WrestleMania in the Battle Royal or within the first couple of weeks after WrestleMania, you see Sami Zayn on the main roster. We'll see.
What about predictions? Anybody catch that Miz promo when he was out against Arnold and that guy with no shirt from True Blood?
That was stupid.
Joe Magnolo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's why we have the girls in the podcast.
Yep.
Thank you, Lee.
Although I do watch True Blood, so I guess I probably know that answer too. But was I the only one who was buying what Miz was saying? It was the first time I've actually enjoyed him in the past, I don't even know, 9, 10, 11 months.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty stale since his WWE Championship run at WrestleMania 27.
Jerk heel, Miz is the best. I hope that's what we get.
He's got to come up with some sort of catchphrase, though. I mean, I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. He can never say that again. Ever.
No, that's terrible.
Maybe even the change of the theme song. Put something else at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
It's getting very stale.
He's never had a good shirt. You ever noticed that? Every shirt he's ever had
love
is
me.
terrible.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys listen to other podcasts, but I was listening to Chris Jericho's latest podcast, and it has Miz on it. And he was told by John Laurinaitis when he was, John Laurinaitis.
Don't make fun of his voice.
People power.
The best part was when he was in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
That was phenomenal. And anyway, when Miz and Morrison were together and they were wearing those very flashy shorts and the fedoras.
Miz wore the fedora. That was god awful.
It was awful, but Laurinaitis told him one day, he was like, "You're gonna wear trunks," and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to wear trunks. I want to be different." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Wear trunks and you'll be a main event guy." Saw what happened: a wardrobe change, a character change. Boom, he's in the limelight. I mean, guys reinvent themselves all the time, and you haven't seen anything like that from The Miz in a long time.
No, he needs something new. Although, I mean, he's releasing excellent movies between Christmas Bounty and Marine 3, 4, 5, whatever it was.
8.
But, yeah, he needs something new. New haircut.
Yeah. He tried that, though. He grew his
He's
hair out.
had several new haircuts, actually, now you mention it.
He grew his hair out and tried to grow his facial hair and whatnot.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I'm trying right now. I'm going on a couple weeks here, but it's not working very well, so whatever.
Even with the Miz's championship run up to 27, didn't you feel almost after WrestleMania 27 that it was kind of just he was the throw-in guy in the Rock Cena feud?
Absolutely. 100%. And they were actually discussing that match last night. Did you guys know that Miz got knocked out in that match?
Yeah, when he nailed his head
Yeah.
when he went over the barrier.
And he had no idea where he was. And when they counted Cena and Miz out, and Rock came out. I was like, no, it's not going to end like that. Miz had no idea what was going on. Cena had to help him back into the ring, and I don't think they ever showed it on camera.
That's crazy.
Cena helped him back into the ring, and then Rock did his thing with Cena, and then Miz got put on top of Cena. He had no idea. And he doesn't remember it at all.
That sucks for him.
It's brutal.
He's always bragging about it, though.
It's on video. It happened.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy whose title reign began with a very intense feud against Jerry the King Lawler with like highly competitive championship matches.
Oh, yes.
It's like, okay. I don't know if that's working.
I remember that. So do we have winners of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
I'm going to say my bottom two, like the last two people in there.
Okay.
Is going to be Big Show because they've been teasing the hell out of it.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And if Alex Rusev is in there,
yeah,
Alex Rusev is going to win over Big Show.
Okay.
Just to push the hell out of him.
How about you, Joe?
I'm going to go Del Rio.
With the win over Big E on Raw this past week? I didn't get that booking at all.
I didn't either, but I see an IC title run in this future for some reason now. Maybe because he dumped a Batista, that's his receipt.
But isn't word spreading that Del Rio's contract is up soon and he's going to be outski?
Yeah, he doesn't want to resign.
So, who knows?
That I did not hear.
Yeah. I heard a couple months ago, I think it ends before SummerSlam, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
he hasn't done anything in a long time, so...
It was the most anticlimactic Royal Rumble win of all time when he won in 2011.
Oh, I wish Santino won that. That would have been awesome.
Were you in the building?
Yeah, I was in the building.
I was too.
I sat back down in my seat and like, what?
Yeah,
Who is this guy?
Cool, I guess.
And then Ricardo started. It's I never saw what they saw in Alberto Del Rio. I like the Mexican aristocrat character, but he never pulled it off because the first 50 million promos he did was, "It's Alberto Del Rio, and you should know that. It's my destiny."
Yeah, I'm a man of truth. Like his little whatever those called vignettes before he came in. Yeah,
right.
And that his character had nothing to do with that.
My name is Alberto Del Rio, but you already know that.
Kind of like that.
It's kind of like Paul. It's kind of like Paul Heyman. Every time he comes out, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman." It's like, yes, Paul, we know. Get on with it. Mm-hmm. Although I do enjoy Paul Heyman.
I love Paul Heyman
all day long. I like Big Show in this match because of exactly what you said. They're kind of pushing it. All you get is a trophy. It's not like Money in the Bank where you get a championship match. You don't get the Intercontinental title. I think that Big Show is so often compared to Andre the Giant that I think it would just be fitting for him to kind of hoist the Andre the Giant trophy after the Battle Royal.
How are you going to hoist it when it's like his height?
Lift it?
Well, it's the one that's going to be at Access, they said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't it the one that was like twirling around in the video when Hogan announced it?
They'll probably give him that one, and then they'll just give him like the life-size one.
Yeah.
For his house.
I don't know. I think the whole thing is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to really make it worth it, if Christian was going to be, well, obviously you didn't know he was going to be hurt, but after he did get hurt, they should have had him come out the next TV show and somehow win the Intercontinental title without really wrestling, and then announce that he's hurt and vacate it, and then have the Battle Royal for the Intercontinental Championship.
There's an idea.
But we don't work for creative.
I know.
We don't, unfortunately.
But, I mean, it would put way more meaning behind it. I mean, like we were discussing earlier, the Intercontinental title is not being defended. The U.S. title is not being defended. It's pointless to even have those belts right now. Mm-hmm. And like Mike was saying on the phone earlier, it's just a prop. That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And guys like Cody Rhodes and guys like Big E and guys like Dean Ambrose have made those titles irrelevant. They hold on to them for 250, 300 days at a time, but never defend them.
When was the last time Dean defended his title?
When Renee and Roman called him out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that was the only time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He defended against Mark Henry like twice.
Yes.
And before that, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It was like early February.
Like months.
I don't even remember when he won it, to be honest with you.
Who do you even win it from?
That's
I don't
what I'm
remember.
Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi.
He was a transitional champ from Cesaro.
Oh, okay. I remember
yeah.
now.
Wait, Kofi's a transitional champ? Are you sure about that?
I think it's written in his contract that he gets one every 6 months.
Yeah.
He's got like a Funaki contract. It's like, we'll keep you on the contract, but you just have to lose every time you go out there.
That sucks. I like Kofi too.
I do too.
I do too.
He responded to us on Twitter one day. I was very excited.
Yeah.
Is he in the Battle Royal?
He is.
Yep.
That might be something to watch then.
He'll probably have some sort of spot like he always
yeah.
does
Do
in the
that?
Royal
No,
Rumble.
come on. Is he going to do that for the Andre Battle Royal too?
I mean, it's a Battle Royal.
So any Battle Royal, Kofi's now doing funny out and ins.
Pretty much.
It's expected now.
Between the handstand and jumping
The
on
chair.
JBL's chair. What comes next if he does do that?
Oh God,
I can't think of anything crazy.
Maybe he'll like jump on Big Show's shoulders. I don't know.
I think the handstand was hands down the most impressive
that was so
save
cool.
I've seen.
The John Morrison one in Boston was okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But I would have died laughing, and one of the fans just pushed him off the wall. That would have been so funny. All right, so you said Rusev, I said Big Show. Who are you thinking for the Battle Royal?
I said Del Rio.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Corey?
I'm going to go with The Miz because he guaranteed he's going to win, and when wrestlers guarantee things, it always happens.
Always.
Okay. I got you. Moving on, because that match is just going to suck, to another match that's just going to suck. We get the Vicky Guerrero, excuse me, Divas Championship Invitational, which I did not know until our pre-podcast discussion here is a one fall to the finish match with 14 divas. How is that going to work?
So brutal.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
It would have been so much better as a Battle Royal, even though we can't really have two Battle Royals on the card. It would just be stupid. But
I hate to say it's going to be my bathroom break, but it is. Like, they have good divas on the roster that can have good matches, but when you're throwing Eva
But out of the
Marie and all those stupid, no talent divas in there too.
right, and between the 14 girls, there's only 5 or so believable winners. You have to put AJ in that. You have to put Natty in that. Is it Naomi or Cameron? Which one is the one with the big butt?
Naomi.
The
rear views are special. Great name.
Naomi, and maybe Summer, Emma, and Tamina. Those are really the only. I mean, Layla's.
I didn't even know she was still on the roster.
I didn't
All of a
know
sudden
either
she
until
came out.
she came
I was like,
back
okay,
recently.
so she's still around.
Rosa Mendez, no. Cameron, or a.k.a. Nicki Minaj, no. Eva Marie, no. Bella Twins, possibly.
They're getting better.
Maybe. Yeah, you know what? They are getting a lot better.
But just where's it going to go from here? I mean, is AJ going to retain? I mean,
No.
And you broke some news to me last night. What did you hear about AJ?
Really?
Yes, because I'm leaving it to you to
all
break
right.
it.
Well, guess who's engaged?
AJ?
Yep.
Good guess. Good guess.
To who, though?
Phil Brooks.
Yep.
CM Punk.
Yep.
Can't believe he's finally settling down.
He's got a lot of time on his hands these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, he
Sure does.
He's out of wrestling now, so.
Besides the one episode of Talking Dead he was on, and you really haven't seen much of him since Royal Rumble.
I tweeted out earlier that Steve Austin wants Punk to come back for the 30-man Battle
yeah.
Royal.
On his podcast, I did hear
Yeah.
that too.
If his music hit, that place would just come unglued.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind it, but I'm.
If he didn't win it, then what would be the point of bringing him back?
It's true. Very true. But then again, what does the Battle Royal get you?
Yeah, what's the point of Punk being the Battle Royal?
Right.
It's not the main event.
It's not Money in the Bank. It's none of that.
And he didn't even want to wrestle Triple H, so like put that into perspective. We're just going to bump you down the card to the
Yeah.
giant Battle Royal.
That wouldn't have been a bad match at WrestleMania
No.
to watch either.
That would
So,
have been a good match. But
A lot of people are tired of Triple H, but I enjoy watching him
so do I.
he always has great matches.
always. And you know it's going to go long and it's going to be epic. So, off of that awful Divas Championship Invitational subject, moving on to another horribly booked match, it's the 6-man tag match between Kane and the New Age Outlaws versus The Shield. Are we all in agreement that The Shield goes over in this match?
No.
No?
What?
This is why you're going to hate me.
I'd like to really, really think that they just let the Shield win, but I have my doubts.
Do you think? I feel like this is like the final curtain call for New Age Outlaws. I feel like they're They should be done after WrestleMania.
Billy Gunn's literally 51 years old, so
Yes.
I think he should be done. Corporate. First of all, I hate the name Corporate Kane
It's
with his
awful.
khakis,
It's
khakis,
awful.
dress shoes, and no shirt.
His wife beat
Call
her
him Glenn
sometimes.
Jacobs,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake.
Yeah, come anything but that.
Yeah.
Corporate gain.
Why have the word corporate in front of his name? It just makes absolutely no sense.
And his title's useless too. The director of operations.
I was the director of operations at Wollaston Golf Club. You don't
Yeah.
see me out there in khakis without a shirt fighting people.
That would be an interesting look.
It would be interesting. Just come into work with no
Yeah.
with no shirt on. It was like, let's go.
Some elbow pads.
Take the members I don't like and just put them into triple threat matches.
Give him a choke slam. Oh, but you were saying earlier before we started the podcast how Dean Ambrose was kind of a weirdo when you met him.
Super weirdo.
How good was that choke slam Kane gave him, and he like stuck his tongue out? He was like,
I will give Dean
He's
all the
so
credit in the
funny.
world with his facial
oh,
expressions.
they're so good.
But man, he has some serious issues. I'm certain he has brain issues. I mean, look at what he used to do
He
with.
fought brain damage. We saw the match.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to bring up. When he was John Moxley fighting this guy named Brain Damage, you can find the video on YouTube if you search hard enough. Basically, they were fighting outside in this smaller wrestling promotion, and they decided to take out power tools and cut each other open.
I've seen that clip.
Yep.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
Yeah, I showed them like a few weeks ago, and it was bad.
It's just gross, honestly.
I don't understand what brings you to that point, especially with Dean, who's only 28 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand if you're Terry Funk and you're 50 and you still want to make money and just bleed everywhere, fine. But
A guy with talent like that in a match against a fat loser like Brain Damage. If you're listening to this Brain Damage, I'd say it to your face. Unless you had like a power drill in your hand.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And they tenderize each other with forks.
Yeah, it's just disgusting, honestly. It's not wrestling, it's crap.
No, and it's not even ECW. At least they wrestled in ECW.
Yeah. It was that's all that match was.
It's just making each other bleed. Who can give the other person the better Crimson Mask?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a proverbial Crimson Mask.
Oh, it was crimson. It was bright red.
Yeah.
I think the worst one I ever saw was Michaels when he was in the triple threat match with Triple H and Benoit at WrestleMania 20.
I just watched that.
His face was dark red. It was gross.
Michael's always cut his head way too
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Oh my god,
It's like-
yeah. He used to blade so badly.
Oh,
You flick Ric Flair in his forehead, and I'm pretty sure it'll bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
probably on all sorts of blood thinners and whatever it at his age. Probably all sorts of Viagra as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Keep all his wives happy.
so why do you think Kane and New Age Outlaws are going to win? And where do you think it's going to go from there?
I don't see the Shield breaking up anytime soon. I think they're gonna.
I don't either.
Probably break up. They'll tease it again.
They kind of teased it this past Monday where they had that vote where who do you want to face? Kane and Roman won by like 90%.
I wanted Seth Rollins to win that one.
I did too.
That would have been great.
And after meeting them, Seth Rollins is hands down my favorite Shield guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Seth. He's great.
He's amazing in the ring, and on a personal level, he's a super nice guy and very, very personable. Neither one of the other two were really super friendly, but Seth was really cool, so I'm kind of biased towards Seth now.
It's the architect right there, man.
Exactly. I am not digging the yellow hair, though.
Yeah, my girlfriend's always like, "Oh, his hair's so gross. Like, why does he do that?"
He needs new bleach.
He needs to just get rid of the yellow.
Yeah.
And go to an all dark look, kind of like Roman.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? We'll see. But the other three of us think Shield is going to go over in this match.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. They have.
So you're the New Age Outlaw.
Yep. Got a problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
I told you weren't going to like my answers. Nobody is.
All right, moving on. This match, I'm the biggest Undertaker mark there is, and at SmackDown they showed up on the screen. It said the Beast versus the Streak up next, and I freaked out a little bit. I was like a 12-year-old girl at a Bieber concert, like, oh my God, Undertaker's actually going to be here. Holy crap. They came back from break, showed like a 2-minute video, and that was it. I was like, but out of the last 10 years, this is probably the Undertaker match I'm looking forward to the least.
Agreed.
I don't, like I've said before in the podcast, I don't understand the build-up with Paul Heyman praising Undertaker and saying that this streak is amazing and this streak is unbeatable, blah, blah, blah. And the only time you've seen Brock Lesnar have any inkling of possibly overpowering Undertaker was this past Monday on Raw with Paul Heyman interference. Does it make you believe that Brock Lesnar can actually beat him?
No.
The last handful of years, don't they book this thing the same kind of way, though? Like Undertaker gets the upper hand all the way through, and right before WrestleMania, the opponent...
Right, and that's what makes it predictable.
Gets in the warning shot. Exactly.
I mean, with CM Punk when he was the Druid and took him out last year and then dumped the urine on his face.
That was awesome. That was pretty good.
It was great. That whole build-up was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the problem they have now is that every single WrestleMania match, they've painted themselves into this corner that has to be only about the streak. And the streak's not going to end. I don't think it should end.
No.
Especially to someone like Brock Lesnar. He's the least deserving out of the last probably, 8 years.
And like I was saying before, why have somebody who's on 7 to 10 Raws a year and part-time be the guy who beats the streak? It doesn't make sense.
If I had to pick anyone on the roster to beat it, it'd probably be someone like Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Up-and-coming guy.
Or even a John Cena. But he doesn't really need the rub
No.
at this point in his career. But, I mean, Cena-Undertaker has to happen before Undertaker retires, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen this year. But
I thought it was, too. I don't know. This match, I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, you kind of know Undertaker's going to win. At least with Punk last year, it was kind of believable that he could have won because Punk was just this growing guy in the company, and clearly the next to Cena was the top guy. And I've never been a fan of Brock Lesnar in anything.
Nope.
I don't watch UFC, so I didn't really watch that. But from 2001 to 2004 in his first run, he had a couple of big moments where he flipped Big Show off the top rope and broke the ring, and that was really cool. And he's a super strong guy, super athletic guy, but he just never did it for me. And a guy who can't talk on the mic just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah, I do watch UFC, and the reason I do is my buddy called me 2008. It's like, hey, UFC 100's on. Brock Lesnar's fighting. And I was like, sweet. I went over there and watched, and I've been a fan of him ever since then. So I don't know what my point is, but I'm not looking forward to this match. That's my final point.
You just wanted to tell everybody that you're a UFC fan.
Yeah, big time. As real as it gets.
Like I always tell people, and I can't stand people that try to start this argument saying, "Oh, why do you watch WWE? It's fake." Blah blah blah.
Oh, I had a bunch of people on Facebook.
It's like, oh, man, if you want to watch a real fight, watch boxing or you watch UFC. But if you want to get the outside entertainment with a fight aspect in it, watch WWE. And the biggest argument I always have is that why pay $70 for a boxing fight when the main event could last 5 seconds? You know what you're going to get with WWE. You know you're going to get a 20, 30, 40-minute main event match every single time. You're going to get a 4-hour show every single time where the main event doesn't start after midnight like boxing does.
And it's like, hey, why do I watch wrestling? Why do you watch Grey's Anatomy? Do you think that's real surgeries going on during that show? Like, we all understand that it's scripted and it's not real. Hey, listen, we all have a great appreciation about that. I think you're stupider for asking us, don't you know it's fake? Yeah, of course we do.
Literally, the only thing that is fake, pretty much, is the punching and the kicking, for the most part.
Yeah, those horrible injuries they suffer are very, very real. And their work schedule's
go tell
real.
Edge that it's fake.
Yeah.
Tell Stone Cold that it's fake.
Yeah.
Go tell that to his neck.
Exactly. Go tell the guys who had to retire. They were told to retire because their neck was so bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think you got to watch it through the right filter to truly appreciate it. Like, usually when I'm watching it says I'm laughing for 3 straight hours when on Raw.
The next person that writes me on Twitter that wrestling's fake, why do you watch it? I'm going to tell them to call in, and I'm going to tear them to shreds.
Please do.
You will
on a
podcast. Pipe bomb them.
And the podcast is going to be 3 hours long because I can talk about it for that long. That just shut up.
His point's the one I always make. Like, do you know those movies you go pay $8, $9 to watch with your popcorn? Those aren't real either, but they entertain you, and that's why you watch them.
Exactly. Thank you, Joe. Getting back to the WrestleMania 30 card. After that,
don't piss us off. We're all like Jeff Jarrett in here.
Hit you with a guitar right over your head. Moving on. This is the match I'm most looking forward to aside from the fact that hopefully Daniel Bryan is in the main event, but John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has done some amazing stuff since they debuted, 14 months ago or so?
In July, I believe, right before SummerSlam.
Okay. So, it's amazing what he's been able to accomplish from, and I can't stand the people who call it these chants of previous characters. Like, you never saw like a
Dederick Yankum.
Thank you. I was thinking of what Ziggler was before, but he was just Nicky.
Nicky!
You never see a Nicky chant when Ziggler's out
Nick
there.
Nemeth.
Nick Nemeth.
That's an awesome wrestling name.
Isn't his real name?
Yeah, it's his real name.
But it just drives me nuts when people try to start Husky Harris chants to Bray Wyatt. It's like the guy's, he's made a full circle. He's one of the best characters in WWE right now. They have the second best entrance in all of WWE right now. Why?
It's like, yeah, we get it. You watched wrestling 4 years ago when the Nexus was on. Good for you.
Right. You don't see the Core chants when Bad News Barrett comes out, because the Core was probably the worst faction in the history of wrestling.
Nobody remembers that anymore.
Next to the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh my God.
The Dungeon of Doom.
When they come in and start humping Hulk Hogan in the middle of the ring, like that's their finisher. Like, whoa.
You ever see Big Show's DVD when he talks about being in the Dungeon of Doom? He was just like, I was in that awful faction.
Yes, and I finally got to see the most footage I've ever seen of Dungeon of Doom on the WWE Network's WWE Countdown Biggest Blunders.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you folks haven't watched that yet, and you have the WWE Network, I strongly suggest you go on and watch that episode. Where the hell were we?
I think we were doing our predictions.
Husky Harris chants.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
that too.
Thank you. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most. I don't see any way that Bray Wyatt doesn't go over in this match. John Cena doesn't need the victory. It's been a great back and forth between the two of them on TV leading up. And I don't think it'll be a clean win. I think the Wyatt family interfere somehow, because they will never do that to John Cena on the main event stage. But you have to give Bray Wyatt this win, or else this whole build-up was for naught. What are you thinking?
I know they're doing the whole legacy thing for Cena, which I think is pretty cool for him, but I see Wyatt going over.
I mean, why is it going to destroy his legacy when what has he won the championship, 13 times?
Not going to do anything to his legacy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he could retire right now and be top, 5, 6, 7 of all time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think John Cena, promo-wise, has done some of his best stuff in years in the last couple of weeks.
How awesome was him appearing out of the dark on Raw?
With the little sheet mask turning his head left and right, that was
so good.
That was cool.
It was really good. I stood up in my living room. I told you that, and I was just like, John Cena's made it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't see any way that John Cena wins this match. It does nothing for him, and it hurts Bray Wyatt big time.
Yeah, like I said earlier, people have their criticisms of Cena, but he's always willing to put a younger guy over. He's done it with Punk. He's done it with Bryan. And it looks like he's probably going to do it again with Bray, I hope.
And I don't know if you guys listened to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcasts, but he had John Cena on, and it was a real shoot. Like they went back and forth, heart to heart. And Cena pretty much voiced his frustration, saying that he hasn't had a great dance partner in years. And he's always been pushing for guys, saying, like, oh, I think he has potential. I think he has potential. But then they don't work out. But now he even said it himself. He says the roster that they have now is as good as it's been in a long time. And there's a lot of potential main event guys. And that's another reason why I think that Bray Wyatt goes over in this matchup is because John Cena wants to help propel the company into the future. And clearly Bray is part of that future.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, Cena's a guy who's looking to put people over. So, in my mind, he's going to lay down here, with Harper and Rowans and Rowan.
Eric
I always screw
Rowan.
up on those guys'
Rowan.
names.
Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan's the homeless guy.
Which is the one that looks like the guy who used to be in the Highlanders.
Oh,
The one
That's Eric Rowan.
The one that wears the sheet mask. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, weighing in a combined 400 stone.
Dude, literally look up the picture of the Highlanders and you'll think it's Eric Rowan. Lee's going to do it right now. Do you know who I'm talking about, Lee?
No.
Okay. You'll see it.
Rory and Robbie, I believe, were their names.
Yes, they wore kilts and they came out to like Piper-esque music.
Didn't one of them get fired from like being at a TNA show?
I think so, yeah.
It said like WWE superstar in his real name, and the next day he got fired.
Yeah.
Sucks.
No, I do remember that. But as soon as Lee pulls up the picture, she'll start laughing because she'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Laugh, Lee. You laugh now.
Yeah, that's yep, definitely. Mm-hmm. Wow, there's a bunch of photos.
Right. I mean, one of them looks just like Eric Rowan. But
who I still think needs to trim his mustache beard. It's gross how it goes in his mouth.
It is pretty gross.
Disgusting.
How awesome is Bray Wyatt's Exorcist crab walk?
Oh, it's incredible. It's so creepy.
It is creepy.
It just fits the character so perfectly. And you can see he goes into the corner, and he holds the ropes, and he tilts upside down, and he's saying something weird. And I love his out of the ring reactions to stuff. Like when he's sitting in his chair watching a match, and something big happens, he'll get out of the chair and be like, "Ha ha ha!"
Yeah.
And who was it that threw him out of the? Was it? It was Cena that threw him out of the ring on Raw, and he was sitting against the announce table on the floor. He was like, "Ha, that was great. That was nice. Well done, John Cena. Well done.
You got me on that.
You got me on that. Exactly." Guys like that who are like, and Paul Heyman's a perfect example of guys who, when they're out of that curtain, they know they're on camera at all times.
Yeah.
And they play their characters perfectly. And Bray Wyatt is definitely one of those guys.
Yeah, I remember at Money in the Bank at Boston, most of the main event match, I was watching Paul Heyman see what he's doing with his face. His facial expressions, everything he does in there is just top notch. He's one of the best in the world.
And you can hear him yelling out stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Brock, let's go, Brock! No, come on!
So are we all in agreement that Bray Wyatt goes over John Cena in this match?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just the stuff that he's doing in the ring lately, that high speed stuff for a guy that's that big, it's just it.
The Sister
it's
Abigail
amazing.
is my favorite move in wrestling right now.
That was a sweet move. I can't believe he went over on R-Truth on Monday. I was shocked by that. Anybody else?
What's up?
Oh, I thought little Jimmy was there. I thought something was going on.
I forgot about that gimmick.
God, little Jimmy.
Oh, man. People over there, what's up? Was it, what are you, DMX? Moving on. So, we've gone through every match so far except for the main event. As of right now, it's scheduled to be a triple threat. We're all assuming that Daniel Bryan will be in the match somehow, whether it be triple threat or potentially even a fatal four-way, as Joe said. Is there any other suitable ending for WrestleMania 30 than the Superdome sounding like this? I don't think so, right?
No.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
There's no more suitable ending, but for some reason I can see Batista winning the belts.
Oh, God.
I have
and like
Batista winning.
dropping them on Raw or something to Bryan.
Yep.
If it has to happen. I mean, obviously I want D. Bryan to win. I think he should win. He's in my Fave 5.
But how often do you see rematches the next night on Raw after WrestleMania for the WWE Championship?
Outside of Money in the Bank
That's what I
situations,
mean.
you really
If
don't.
it's for the Intercontinental title,
Well,
all the
yeah,
time.
all the time. Well,
Yeah, every time.
Wade and
The belt switch last year, that was
good.
that was good, and there was so many people from England in that crowd too.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that Wade was way over in that match. But I don't know.
What would make this the end of WrestleMania perfect is if Daniel Bryan gives the running knee to Triple H in a fatal four-way and pins him for the title.
That would be awesome.
I have
That
that.
brings the whole story full circle and gives Daniel the
Yeah.
title.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
they could end it in some type of schmoz where there's like an RKO or I'm trying to figure out Batista
Bomb.
I can't even do the math in my head of who needs to hit what move on who in order to set up.
Yeah.
So it'd be like an RKO to Batista followed by pedigree to Randy Orton followed by the running knee by D. Bryan.
That works out perfectly.
There we go.
You think well on your feet.
I do not. Well, when it comes to any type of mathematics, yeah, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, I hear you there. I'm not very good at that either. But I sincerely hope, for the fans' sake, for tickets being purchased sake, that Daniel Bryan comes out on top. It's clearly best for business. It doesn't make sense for it not to happen.
They have to do it. They have to. I mean, months and months and months of Triple H and Stephanie shitting on D-Bry. They have to.
There's a reason why they had that emergency rewrite after the Royal Rumble and immediately inserted Daniel Bryan into the storyline.
Yeah,
they knew. I think Punk had a little bit to do with that.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
oh yeah,
I think more of it was Batista's crowd reaction. They just don't like it.
No,
they want no part of it.
I was never a huge Batista fan anyway, but to bring a guy back after 4 years, appear on one Raw, and then win a Royal Rumble is just completely asinine.
Oh, terrible.
That's exactly what I was just thinking in my head, asinine. That's
it was a horrible decision. Like, who in their right mind in creative thought of that? Because clearly they're not very creative.
It was Russo.
Maybe it was just a handshake deal because he's Triple H's buddy, and never rule that out these days.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Maybe it was Eric Bischoff. Who knows? I only thought of him because he was on the WWE Countdown video we were watching when you guys got here. But I can't see any other way to end WrestleMania than 75,000 people chanting yes at the same time. Obviously, Lee disagrees. Who do you think wins the match?
Batista.
Okay.
Why bring him back if you're not going to give him the title?
I feel like they brought him back, and then they heard the crowd reaction. They were like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Everyone hates this guy."
By the way, Dave, what we talked about earlier, no,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you have a movie to go do something with, Dave?
I love how Triple H keeps pointing out these movies. I don't know any movie that Batista's in.
He's in Guardian of the Galaxy. It's a Marvel movie coming out.
It looks awful.
Interesting. Yeah, he keeps talking about these movies. I thought he was just trolling him the whole time, like kind of comparing to Rock, but not really. Going away for years and making movies.
Triple H had a couple good movies too.
The Chaperone was great.
I'm the Chaperone. He's in that. Then he's in that other movie with that guy, the generic guys and everything with the curly hair. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
I don't.
It's a terrible movie.
I don't. Wasn't he in like Blade 3 or something
He
like
was
that?
in Blade 3.
Or Blade Trinity, I think it was.
I think that was his first movie.
Yeah. Chaperone was good. I actually watched it.
I've watched too many WWE movies to admit.
I liked
Knucklehead.
Knucklehead was good.
Knucklehead, yeah.
What was the other one? The one with John Cena. It wasn't Marine, but it was
12 Rounds.
12 Rounds. That was pretty good.
Yeah, the 12 Rounds was good. That's actually one of the only ones I've actually ever watched.
Yes.
I also kind of want to watch that WrestleMania Mystery with Scooby-Doo.
Could be one for my nephew.
Not kidding.
What a debacle that, not this past Raw, but the one before that. I mean, how do you not put somebody like Dolph Ziggler in a match, but you have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Scooby-Doo on Monday Night Raw?
You have Sin Cara and Scooby-Doo making their way to the ring.
Yeah.
So stupid.
And then Sandow just gets crushed.
Poor Sandow.
Oh, God. I could do a whole podcast how disappointed I am with what they've done with him. Terrible.
His character
He's
when he
awesome.
first came in was fantastic. When he had the robe and he held the microphone with like a wine glass. It was so awesome. What was his nickname that he gave himself?
The intellectual savior of the masses.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses.
That's right.
Just such a perfect heel. Oh, I miss it so much. And now he doesn't have the robe anymore. He has some weird cut-up T-shirt.
Some dumbass shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he win at Money in the Bank?
He did.
He did, and then they gave Cena his receipt for losing his briefcase by beating that guy.
Exactly. Yep. But I don't know. I don't see Daniel Bryan not winning the match. I'm hoping. Part of me is hoping that it's not the case. But a couple weeks ago on the podcast, we came up with this little fantasy booking
we do that a lot, so
angle.
Yeah.
And it would just be a cherry on the biggest Sunday ever if Daniel Bryan's in the ring. We discussed this before they came over. But Daniel Bryan's in the ring, 75,000 people are chanting yes, and Punk's music hits. Comes out, place going bonkers, goes into the ring, hugs Bryan, holds his hand up, fade to black. The next night on Raw, same thing to kick off the show. It's like a Daniel Bryan celebration type of thing. Punk does the same thing, turns on him. Instant top heel in the company.
They could go for 5 or 6 months with that. Just
Exactly.
those two. Just
they
those
could
two.
go for like a year, like honestly a
could.
year straight with
Yeah.
those two. They know exactly how to wrestle each other. They wrestled each other in Ring of Honor a million times too, right?
Right.
They would tear the house down
Yeah,
every night.
every night.
And that's why Punk and Bryan is such a great match. And they've done it so many times. And it's widely known around WWE that they put on some of the best matches in the company.
And I actually kind of didn't like the way they booked their title feud last year because AJ was kind of more of the spotlight on it. They should have just let those two go.
I'm getting tired of her.
Yeah, don't even get me started on AJ.
Everything from how she's just fallen from grace, and she was the skank who was hooking up with like 7 guys at the same time.
That's the way I like her, though. I don't like her with the title.
Yeah, she was like one of the most intriguing characters,
And then-
male or female, in the whole company.
Right. And then she was the GM for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
That was
then
okay.
after that, it just fell worse and worse and worse. And now she keeps hugging Tamina and thinking that she's not going to turn on her, but she is going to turn on her. You know that. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Tamina, who is a handsome woman, by the way.
Very,
Great
very
term
handsome.
for her.
She's a she beast.
Like her father before.
I do see the resemblance.
Yes.
That's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did she murder any of her exes like her father did? Or
Possibly. She got the guns for it.
she does. Just crushing the murder jokes today on the podcast.
But back to the main event. This is the last match we're going to discuss. Like I said, and unlike what Lee said, I can't see any other way to end WrestleMania other than Daniel Bryan being on top.
They do like to end WrestleMania giving the fans what they want most of the time.
Most of the time.
So you'd like to think they get it right. If they do hand it to Batista, that's just I don't know.
New Orleans may literally riot.
They might honestly take that place down.
You see signs if Cena wins, we riot all the time. But they might literally riot if Batista wins, and I'm fearful for New Orleans PD and Superdome.
They've
personnel.
seen their fair share of riots, though.
This is true.
Mardi Gras.
Exactly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to wait until Sunday at around 11 p.m. or so to see who is hoisting, hopefully, one belt after WrestleMania, because I'm tired of seeing both belts.
I said that from the beginning. If you unify them, why do you get both?
And you know they're not going to get rid of the one that's sitting next to you there, because it was just revealed 2 years ago by The Rock. I mean, they're not going to get rid of it, and they're not going to replace it with the old World Heavyweight Championship belt. I mean, that has the logo visible and huge.
Front and center.
Exactly.
Was that really 2 years ago?
Just about.
It was after Rock beat Punk for the title at
yeah.
Royal Rumble.
Oh, wow.
So it's a year and a half, but still.
It's still a long time.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I think the most pressing question for WrestleMania, at least for me, is when do you start drinking your first beer? I mean, we got the 2-hour pre-show.
Probably 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, we're calling it.
Just before the pre-show that's going to be relentless pushing of the WWE Network.
Which I already bought, so Vince, relax.
Exactly.
Me too.
Michael Cole's got like 10 things to plug now.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine, and from somebody who has worked in radio before and has producers talking in their ear, I can't imagine what is going on in Michael Cole's headset during Raw. He's got to have 7 guys be like, say this. No, now do this. And I give him all the credit in the world. As much as I don't really enjoy him too much as an announcer, I give him all the credit in the world. He's got one of the hardest jobs in the business.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw any of Mick Foley's DVD, but on that they were talking about when he was an announcer how he couldn't hack it because Vince kept criticizing him over like saying whatever, and it's just part of that job.
Right. You're constantly being talked to by producers in your ear. It's a crazy business, and anybody who's good at it, you have to respect them.
Just one more quick thing on the WWE Network. Anybody have a bad feeling that it's going to shit the bed during the stream on WrestleMania with
So many glitches.
people
I hope not.
using it?
I really hope not.
I pray it doesn't, but on that NXT arrival, that was basically the test run, and I didn't see the main event live.
Yeah.
So.
I don't understand why or who in their right mind thought it was a good idea. Aside from after the 6 months is up, it'll be in time for SummerSlam, and people will have to re-up on the network. aside from that, why not debut it at the beginning of February, have a couple of weeks of programming, and then have Elimination Chamber be your first
to see how it goes.
run?
Because then they could get $60 from everybody to buy Elimination Chamber and then unveil the network.
I totally get it. It's a business, but I mean, to have your first live pay-per-view be WrestleMania is ballsy.
It is. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, and they waited so long. They let everyone sign up at the same time, and it just made everything crash.
Yeah.
And
I think mine's the only one that didn't crash.
Really?
Yours didn't crash at all?
No.
If you use it on the Xbox 360, it's been pretty wonky, and they still have a lot of bugs to work out, and that's how I plan on watching it. So
you couldn't even watch it in the Xbox for about 3 weeks.
Yeah. And, like, I hate how you can't, if you're watching something, you stop, you have to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you ever accidentally hit right bumper, and the thing just ends, and you're like,
all the
okay,
time.
now I have to fast forward and find where I was.
You know,
You listening to this, Vince?
You know what really grinds my gears is that stupid little 4-second song that comes on before
Every time.
I hear that in my nightmares.
It is pretty pointless. All the stuff's PG for the most part.
TV PG. Except for the old Raws and SmackDowns, which are TV 14 or TVMA.
Yeah, that's like sexual content. I'm like, what am I watching?
I love the subtle Benoit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where it's like WWE portrays characters and it doesn't portray what happened in their personal lives, blah, blah, blah. But we're talking about Chris Benoit, but we'll never tell you.
We're talking about that guy that did 1,000 flying headbutts and smashed his brain so bad that he killed his family. But hey, look at this new cartoon show we have.
His
WWE Slam City.
And you guys know you've watched every episode because I know I have too.
I haven't.
I've watched 2 of them. I've watched the Del Rio.
Starbucks is amazing.
Kane's a pretty badass lunch mother, though. You gotta admit.
Yeah, and Santino.
And I watched the John Cena car repair one. Those are the only 2 I've watched.
I'm gonna have to watch them now.
They're like 4-minute shorts.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
It's good.
The Del Rio one was awesome.
I mean, they're aimed for 7-year-olds, but
they're like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation.
just give it a whirl. It's pretty
Just
good.
a bunch of
We'll,
like
we'll
30-year-olds
throw them on when
watching
we're
it.
done here.
Yeah. Chris Benoit's son was actually on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Talking about like his dad and stuff recently. Like that was like the first time he's ever talked about it.
Interesting.
wait, he has another son?
I didn't know he had 2 sons. I know he killed one of them.
David Benoit, yeah.
Daniel was the one that...
The one that he murdered.
Yeah.
But there's another one?
Yeah, that was another
Yeah,
one.
because he had another wife before, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Sucks to be that kid. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
He looks exactly like his dad. It's creepy.
Isn't he a wrestler in the Indies too?
No.
No?
He's like
He was
like
Good luck
16.
getting into WWE.
I would
with that
change
name.
my name so quickly if I was him.
Michael McGillicuddy. Done.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing is, if he ever did make it to the WWE, he would face those chants every night.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks. For
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He'd have to go through the indies with another name. He could never use his real name, or else
He'd have to change his face. He looks exactly like his dad.
grow a beard or something.
Wear a mask.
Sheet mask.
Anybody else have any other points as far as the main event or any other matches or Hall of Fame or anything like that?
Nope.
It's an excellent ringtone.
That was
by the way,
great.
Joe.
I couldn't even hear what it was.
It was the Wyatt family's theme.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I have it on my phone as well. I currently don't use it. I currently use the I downloaded the app you told me about, and I converted the Nickelodeon Guts theme to my ringtone.
Let's throw it to Momo.
So cool. Oh my God.
Corey clocked in at 9.7 seconds.
And this squiddy girl from Europe got a 2. And this dude from America 1.
Let's meet Lee the Lizard Morgan. Go.
Oh my God.
Way off topic here, but thank you everybody for tuning into this extra long After the Bell WrestleMania Roundtable. You guys can follow the show's official Twitter account at ATBWrestling. You can follow me at Bill_Neville. You can follow Lee at WWE_LCM. Shoot a follow over to Mr. Corey Pontes at CT Pontes. That's CTPONTES. And Joe, where can we find you on Twitter?
That is Joe_Guaragna. The last name is Guaragna. I need a new Twitter handle.
Need a new name.
We'll come up with that. Well, maybe that'll be our next ATB poll question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag that.
If you guys haven't already, you guys can subscribe to and download the After the Bell podcast on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, in addition to streaming the show on ATBWrestling.com or the ATB Wrestling YouTube page. So many options. You can't miss it.
Social media, man. It's the age we live in. Internet age, guys.
Exactly. And be sure to tell all your friends and loved ones to do so as well. And until next week, I'm Bill.
I'm Lee.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Joe.
And this has been After the Bell, and we're going to send you out with a clip from Kid Rock's Celebrate, one of the official theme songs of WrestleMania 30. Enjoy WrestleMania on Sunday, everybody.